Good morning. This is your social science teacher from Danish School. Welcome to online class. Today I am going to teach you about the lesson India Agriculture, Unit 3. Last week you would have studied about the climate and vegetation of India. Now today you are going to learn about the agriculture of India. Okay? So just see the learning objectives. Look at the learning objectives, children. To understand the nature of India's soil types and their distribution, number 1. Number 2 is to know about the importance of irrigation and multipurpose projects in India. Number 3 is to study about the agriculture, its types and importance. Fourth one is to understand the livestock and fishing resources of India. And the last one is to comprehend the problems of farming in India. Okay, just see the introduction. Introduction part you see. Soil is one of the most important natural resources. India's varied natural environments resulted in a very great variety of soils compared to any other country of similar size in the world. The rich, deep and fertile soils support high density of population through agricultural prosperity. Now coming to the soils. Soil, what do you mean by soil, children? Soil is the uppermost layer of the land surface, usually composed of minerals, organic matter, living organisms, air and water. Grains in the soil are of three categories, namely clay, silt and sand. Okay, they are the three categories which I told you. Just remember the three things: clay, silt and sand. Soils are generally formed by the weathering of rocks under different conditions. Some soils are formed by the deposition of agents of denudation. Soils can vary greatly from one region to the another. Okay. Now types of soil. Okay, it will be very easy to understand from this. Okay, types of soil are 8. Okay, alluvial soil, black soil, red soil, laterite soil, forest and mountain soils, arid and desert soils, saline and alkaline soils, and the last one is peaty and marshy soils. From the name itself you can understand what you mean by those type of soils. Okay, the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, set up in 1953, divides the soils in India up to 8. So the types of soil in India, just look at the map, that is in the circular thing you can understand about the percentage of this soil. Okay, alluvial soil is the most soil in distributed all over India, that is 22.16%. Red soil is 28%, black soil is 29%, and the remaining are the forest and mountain soil, that is 7.94%. Arid and desert soil is very little, that is 6.13. Laterite soil is more lesser than the arid, that is 2.62. Peaty and marshy soil, that is 2.17, and the least one is meager one is saline and alkaline soil, that is 1.29. So black soil is the mostly distributed soil all over the India, and the second most is red soil, and the third most is alluvial soil. These are the 8 most important soils distributed all over the India. Okay, now coming to the alluvial soil, the characteristic I am going to tell you about each soil and the distribution and the crops growing in each soil. Okay, the soil type is alluvial soil, where the khadar, light color, more siliceous; Bhangar, the older alluvium composed of lime nodules and has clay composition. It is dark in color. The formation is sediments deposited by streams and rivers when they slowly lose. Okay, the nature is very sandy. Distribution now I am going to tell you is Ganga and Brahmaputra valleys, plains of UP, Uttaranchal, Punjab, Haryana, West Bengal, etc. And the crops growing are very important. What we are eating is daily is rice and wheat. That is from the alluvial soil it grows, sugar cane and oil seeds. Now coming to the black soil, it is derived from the basals of Deccan Trap. Color, black color, it will be from the name itself, the color you can find it out, that is a black color due to the presence of iron and titanium. So it has the chemical properties like consist of calcium, magnesium carbonates, high quantities of iron, aluminium, lime and magnesia. It is rich in potash lime. The nature will be very sticky and wet. okay, and it will be very moisture. So these places where the black soil are distributed are Maharashtra, Malwa Plateau, Kathiawar Peninsula, Telangana, and Rayala Sima. Okay, and these are the crops growing in the soil is cotton, millet, tobacco, and sugarcane. Now coming to the red soil. Red soil is about the formation of decomposition of ancient crystalline rocks like granites and gneisses from rock type, and it is rich in nitrogen and phosphoric acid and lime. So the eastern parts of Deccan Plateau, southern states of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, and Chota Nagpur. Okay, that is Jharkhand. Chota Nagpur Plateau is also known as Jharkhand, and its main from the red soil as well as alluvial soil, the rice and wheat can be grown, cotton, sugarcane, and pulses. Now coming to the laterite soils, formed in the regions where alternate wet and hot dry conditions prevail. It is formed by the process of leaching. Okay, the nature is very acidic on high areas, poor in high level, cannot retain moisture, while plains they consist of heavy loam. So the places are Assam Hills, hill summits of Kerala and Karnataka and Eastern Ghats. The crops here are coffee, rubber, cashew nut, and tapioca. Okay. Now coming to the forest and mountain soils. From the name itself, you can understand it is found in the forest and mountain soils. So due to the mechanical weathering caused by snow, rain, temperature variation, it is deficient in potassium, phosphorus, and lime. Then it is very sandy, light, and thin. The distribution here is in the coniferous forest belts of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and Western Ghats. The crops are very important growing here. That is the coffee, tea, rice, maize, potato, barley, tropical fruits, and various types of spices. Now coming to the arid and desert soils. From the name itself, you can understand desert soil. Okay, that is formation is due to the prevalence of the dry climate, high temperature, and accelerated evaporation. Okay, the chemical properties here are soluble salts, alkaline with varying degree of calcium carbonate. Now the nature of this soils are light in color, low humus, friable structure, low in moisture. That is, the places here where are distributed are Rajasthan, northern Gujarat, and southern Punjab. The millets, barley, cotton, maize, and pulses are the main crops grown in this arid and desert soils. Now coming to the saline and alkaline soils. Saline, that is formed due to the ill drainage, while causes waterlogging. Injurious salts are transferred from subsurface to the topsoil by the capillary action. Chemical properties here are liberate sodium, magnesium, and calcium salts and sulfuric acid. Nature is consist of an excess of sodium salts and mineral fragrance which are withering. And the places here are Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, in the drier parts of Bihar, UP, Haryana, Punjab. Okay, the crops do not grow because of excess of salinization of salts. That is so much of salty, and due to the ill drainage. Because of this, the crops doesn't grow from this alkaline soil. Okay, there is no crop growing in this. Now coming to the peaty and marshy soils, from the name itself we can understand what do you mean by marshy. It will be very wetty. Okay, it is found in the areas of heavy rainfall, high humidity. Peaty soils are black and heavy, highly acidic, deficient in potash and phosphate. So the nature here is considerable amount of soluble salts and 10 to 40% of organic matter and a high proportion of vegetable matter. The places here are Kottayam, Alappuzha districts of Kerala, and coastal areas of Odisha and Tamil Nadu. Sundarbans of West Bengal in Bihar, and Almora district of Uttarakhand. That is, the crops here are paddy and jute. Okay, now coming you can understand now about the 8 important soils which are distributed in India. With the name itself you can understand how the crops have been grown. Now coming to the soil degradation. What do you mean by soil degradation? It is the negative part, you can say. Soil degradation is an acute problem in India. When the people are cutting off the trees, that is called the soil degradation. Cutting off the trees and removing the sand and soil from that place is called the soil degradation. That is, it is an acute problem in India. According to 2015 report of Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, IIRS, has estimated the amount of soil erosion that occurred in India was 147 million hectares. Okay, the main problems of Indian soils are soil erosion, that is sheet erosion, rill erosion, gully erosion, ravine, and badland. The number 2 is degradation of soil, and the third one is waterlogging. Fourth one is saline and alkaline, and salt flats. Types of soils are different erosion. Now coming to the methods of conservation and management of soil. Due to the soil deforestation, problem degradation, the problem have been arising. So for that to stop, methods of conservation and management of soil has been government has passed. That is the number one point is afforestation. Number two is constructing dams and barrages. Number three is prevention of overgrazing. Number four is improved methods of agriculture practices. Contour method, rotation of crops, contour bunding, strip cropping, planting of shelter, belts, adopting the techniques of sustainable agriculture are different conservation methods for better soil management. Now coming to the major soil types, I'm going to explain you through the map. Okay, just look at the map, children. Clearly it is shown. Now coming to the alluvial soil, alluvial soil has been distributed in the northern part of India, that is the topmost below the Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, that is most of the areas are alluvial soil. The red soil is the right side of the in India, and the southern part, mostly the southern part of the India, and the black soil is that is the Gujarat and Delhi, those places are the black soil. And laterite soil is few only, orange color. And the forest and mountain is green color, that is the Jammu and Kashmir. And those northern part of India has the forest and mountain soil. And coming to the arid and desert forest is light brown, that is the left side, that is near the Rajasthan, Gujarat, that is the desert area, very dry area. And saline and alkaline are the blue color where it is very miyaga. And the peaty and marshy is yellow in color, it is very much miyaga, that is 1 point something percent. So these are the 8 types of soil you have to remember in your mind. Okay. Now coming to the irrigation part, the soils where the crops have been growing, we need to do irrigation. Am I right, children? So irrigation, because of the irrigation, the crops used to grow beautifully. So for that only irrigation methods have been allotted. So there are so many irrigation methods. That is, I'll tell you what do you mean by irrigation first. Watering of agricultural plants through artificial means is called irrigation. Being a hot country with seasonal and irregular rainfall, it always needs irrigation to carry out agricultural activities during dry period. Now sources of irrigation are canal irrigation, well irrigation and tank irrigation. Okay. So now the canal irrigation is 24%, tank irrigation is 3%, tube wells are 46%, other wells are 16%, other sources are 11%. Areas under irrigation. Now coming to the canal irrigation. Canal irrigation is the second most important source of irrigation in our country. Under that, inundation canals and perennial canals have been distributed. I'll tell you what you mean by inundation canals. In this, water is taken out directly from the rivers without making any kind of barrage or dam. Such canals are useful for the diversion of flood water from the rivers and remain operational during rainy season. Okay, that is called the inundation canals, directly taken from the rivers without making any kind of barrage or dam directly. Then perennial canals means these are developed from perennial rivers by constructing barrage to regulate the flow of water. About 60% of the canal irrigated area falls in the northern plains of India. Okay. Now coming to the second part, that is well irrigation. You know about from the word itself, well. Well irrigation means from the well it has been irrigated. It is a hole or trough, usually vertical, excavated in the earth for bringing groundwater to the surface. Well irrigation is the most important source of irrigation. It is a cheap, dependable source of irrigation. Now under this there are two types, that is open wells and tube wells. Open wells type of irrigation is widely practiced in the areas where groundwater is sufficiently available. The areas are in Ganga plains, the deltaic region of Mahanadi, the Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri and parts of Narmada and Tapti valleys. Now tube wells. Okay. Open wells, you know, from the word itself we can understand. Now about the tube wells are developed in the areas of low water table, sufficient power supply and soft subservience geological units. Tube wells are predominant in the states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Punjab. Okay, so tube wells are the name from the tube, from the wells through the tubes the water has been irrigated. Now coming to the tank irrigation. Tank is a natural or man-made hollow on the surface developed by constructing a small bund across stream. It is used to collect and store water for irrigation. The tank irrigation is popular in peninsular India. So number one is undulating relief and hard rocks make difficult to dig canals and wells. So because of digging on the stones, it is very difficult. So it is little not that much thing. Okay, it is irrigated from the lakes and ponds. Natural depressions serve as reservoirs. Absence of perennial rivers, impermeable rock structure, we do not permit percolation. And the fifth one is scattered nature of population are agricultural fields. So the tank irrigation, due to the lack of ponds and rivers, the tank irrigation has been developed. Okay, now coming to the agriculture, that is Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. This has been implemented to get more production by using water saving and conservation technologies. This the PMKSY is the scheme which has been implemented to save the water. Okay, then coming to the agricultural part. Okay, now modern irrigation method. Okay, coming to the modern irrigation method, that is the three methods are there, that is modern irrigation method, drip irrigation method, sprinkler method, rain gun method, central pivot irrigation. Okay, now these are the four irrigation methods under the tank irrigation. So I'll tell you, modern irrigation methods are ways in modern irrigation. Among them, mostly practiced in India are drip irrigation, sprinklers and rain gun and central pivot irrigation. Now coming to the drip irrigation method, that is, it was first developed in this method, water is supplied in the form of drops through nasals. Water can be saved up to 70%. Okay, so a drip irrigation method, from the name itself you can understand it is the water is coming drip by drip, drop by drop, because to lessen the wastage of water, to avoid wastage of water, the drip irrigation method has been followed. Now coming to the sprinkler method, from the name itself we can understand, simplest and easiest method of all. It is water is supplied to the field from the source through the pipes with have small holes, with the it will be sprinkling, the water will be sprinkling through the holes. So for that is called the sprinkler method. Now coming to the rain gun. Rain gun is used to spread water like rain. So from the name itself, rain gun, you can understand through how the water drizzles from through the rain. So how the downpour comes like a drizzling. So the rain gun spread water like rain. It can be used to water the crops which grow up to 4 feet. Useful to irrigate the crops like sugarcane and maize. Okay. Those crops which require very less water, the rain gun method can be used to avoid the wastage of water. Now coming to the central pivot irrigation. It is also called water wheel and circle irrigation. It is a method of crop irrigation in which equipment rotates around the pivot and crops are watered with sprinklers. Okay, through the sprinklers the water has been through the axis called pivot. From the pivot, the circular motion, water will be spread all over the place in an equal amount and volume. Okay, now you can understand all the methods. Now coming to the multi-purpose river valley projects. Okay, multi-purpose river valley project means, you can understand with the presentation. It is a scientific management of water resources in our country. Construction of dams across rivers is aimed, and generally majority of multi-purpose projects are a combination of irrigation and hydropower, which are the major aims of the projects. Okay, now coming to the agriculture part. Coming to the agriculture part, there are determinants of agriculture. There are the physical factors, that is relief, climate and soil. It is determined by a set of factors. The factors are physical factors, institutional factors, infrastructural factors, technological factors. Okay, with the name itself you can understand. Physical factors, relief, climate and soil. Institutional factors, size of farm holdings, land tenure and forms. Infrastructural factors, irrigation, power, transport, credit, market, insurance and storage facilities. Technological factors, high yielding variety of seeds, chemical fertilizers and machinery. Now coming to the types of farming. Types of farming are subsistence farming. That is, subsistence farming means farmers grow crops with the help of family. Their family members will be growing. That is called the sugarcane, oilseeds, cotton, jute and tobacco are also cultivated. Now coming to the shifting agriculture. This agriculture is performed by tribal people in a piece of forest land. Okay, once the land is cleared, crops are grown for 2 to 3 years and the land will be abandoned. Okay, so the farmers then move to the new areas and the process will be repeated. They cultivate some grains and vegetable crops using the manual labor. Through the hand they will be doing, and it is called as a slash and burn cultivation. They will be burning the after removing the crops and to decrease the soil fertility. Okay, that is called the shifting agriculture. Okay, the agriculture crops will be shifting. Now coming to the India multi-purpose valley project, just look at the map. You can see the river valley project. Wherever the cap like model are called the river valley project. So many places has been implemented the river valley project. Where the dark line is the international border line, that is the north side where the topmost it is there from the Gujarat till going through the Jammu and Kashmir until the Himalayan side, that is the international border line, and the rivers are the flowing places. Okay, now these are the names of projects you can go through. That is the Damodar, I'll just tell you two, you can go through it. Damodar Valley project is the Damodar river. The benefit states are the Jharkhand and West Bengal. That is the other project is Bhakra Nangal project, highest gravity dam in the world. In the world itself is the very highest gravity. That is the river Sutlej is flowing there, and the benefit states from the Sutlej river are flowing is Punjab, Haryana and Rajasthan. There are and the Hirakud project is a very important name of these projects. You should memorize these names. The longest dam in the world, Hirakud, and Kosi project, Tungabhadra project is very much important. Now, then the Tungabhadra project, that is Tungabhadra, Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka, it is flowing, and these are the benefit states. Then Tehra Dam, that is Bhagirathi, that is the state which is going to benefit is Uttarakhand. Now Chambal Valley project, that is the river flowing is Chambal. The states which are getting benefits are Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. Nagarjuna Sagar project, that is river Krishna, and benefit states are the Andhra Pradesh. Sardar Sarovar project, that is flowing the river is Narmada. MP, Maharashtra and Rajasthan are the benefit states. Indira Gandhi Canal project, that is Satlaj river, Rajasthan, Punjab and Haryana. Mettur Dam Kaveri, that is Tamil Nadu. Okay, from this dam, so many important from these dams the important states have been getting benefited, and these are the rivers flowing through these dams. Okay, and the different names of shifting agriculture in different regions in India are name Jhum, that is a place Assam, Poonam Kerala, Podu Andhra Pradesh Odisha, Bivar Mashan Penda Bira, that is in Madhya Pradesh. These are the shifting agriculture in different regions in India. Okay, these just look at the above map, children. See, look at the above map. You can see the India multi-purpose river valley project. The river valley project, I am going to give you a homework. That is, you have to buy a map. That is the river map you have to buy, and you have to work out this river valley project. Wherever the rivers has been flowing, the dams has been followed. Just now I told you example I am giving Nagarjuna Sagar Dam, where the river has been flowing, that you have to work it out. And the Tungabhadra valley project, that is from the river Tungabhadra has been river has been flowing and the benefit states. So you have to work out this important map, that is the India multi-purpose river valley project. You have to mark. However, you can use the colors, sketches, anything you can use. It should be very colorful, and it should be very very the presentation should be so good. Okay, and the international borderline you have to highlight it, and the rivers which are flowing you have to highlight with the blue sketch, and the other river valley projects you have to use the different colors. Okay, this is a very important map. It may come in the exam, so you have to get ready with this map. Okay, you just buy a India river map from the shop and try to do the homework. Okay, now with this intensive farming, with this different names of shifting agriculture in different regions in India, I will be concluding with this. Okay, the next class I will be teaching you from the intensive farming. Okay, From the intensive farming, I'll be concluding you. Now I am ending with the names of projects. So many projects are there. So you have to learn the names of projects, and your important homework is India River homework. Okay, you have to do the valley project, and you have to paste it in your classes. Okay, children. With this I conclude. Thank you, children. Thanks a lot.